Hello, good evening. Welcome to yet another edition of your favorite game plan show where we discuss everything Ghanaian sport here on Facebook. Remember, we are streaming live on our Facebook page, Paul's Ghana Sport. My name is Fifi and I'm on tonight's menu, and as you can see, we are coming to you quite, pretty late because of certain factors. Now we told you a few weeks ago that will be coming to you at any point of the day, and so we'll be surprising you with the show due to the format that we are currently running. Today is past 8:40 p.m. and we are here in the studio with a live show. It's absolutely live, so you can join us with your comments as well. Today, like I said, tonight on the menu we'll be discussing Asamoah Gyan once again. We just can't stop discussing him, can we? Can't get tired of our captain, the captain of the Black Stars. He's in the news once again. I'll be telling you a bit about what it's about, what he has been saying on the airwaves. I'll also be telling you about the Ghana Premier League, which entered March week 22 today. Matches played across 8 centers. I'll be bringing you all the updates. And Joseph King Kong Agbeko, right? He is also in the news again. Now, a former GBA chair is saying that Joseph Agbeko is cursed. What are the details? I'll be bringing them to you in a bit. And I'll also be telling you finally about Latif Blessing, who last night scored a brace right under the nose or under the watch of Ghana coach Kwesi Appiah in the US Open Cup. I'll bring you all the details as to what happened there. So remember, we are streaming live on Facebook, Paul's Ghana Sport. Do join us with your comments, and I'll be very, very glad to read them as well. Yesterday, we had a very, very exciting show with you guys contributing and asking all the relevant questions, and also making suggestions to improve the show as well. Now, without much ado, let's zoom straight into our first topic for tonight. The Ghana Premier League entered March week 22 today. Like I said, matches played across 8 league centers. Now, I'll bring you all the results and all the goal scorers, and all the permutations as well. Now, over in Sogakope, we had league leaders Wafa winning by 2-0 against Bechim United. Now, goal scorers were Komla Agbanyadan and Richard Dan. So now Wafa are unbeaten in their last 5 games, and they lead Aduana currently by 3 points. And they also have a game in hand. So Wafa are in form and on top in the driver's seat as far as the 2016-2017 Ghana Premier League is concerned. So 1 game in hand, top of the table, 2-0 win back over Bechim United as well. Now on to Dansoman, and we had Liberty Professionals winning by 1-0 against Elmina Sharks. Liberty Professional losing, in fact, by 1-0 to Elmina Sharks, the away side. Farouk Adams scored for Dr. Parkwesi Indom's side. Now, in Tamale, we had Bolga All-Stars losing for the umpteenth time this season. They are rock bottom of the table. They lost that game to Ashanti Gold, a resurgent Ashanti Gold. Now, Bolga All-Stars, of course, without a win in their last 12 Ghana Premier League games, not going well for them at all. I remember so many seasons ago, about 7 seasons ago or 6, RTU came into the league and did a similar thing, going a lot of matches without a win. Now, for Bolga All-Stars, it's 12 matches now. Their last win came against Elmina Sharks 12 matches ago. So very, very interesting. Ashanti Gold are also now unbeaten in their last 7 league games, and they've won 6 of them. Ashanti Gold, coached by CK Akono. They've enjoyed a very, very good second half to the season. Of course, in the first half, they struggled. Coach Bashir Hayford had to quit the club. CK Akono came in at a point when they were losing and struggling to get points. And now they've gone 7 games unbeaten and won 6 of those games as well. So, Ash Gold doing very, very well. Over to WA, where defending champions WA All-Stars beat Aduana Stars by 3-1. Now, Aduana, of course, missing out on a chance to close in on league leaders Wafa. Goal scorers for WA All-Stars were David Agbana, Nasiru Moro, and Paul Asari de Vries. Remember him, Paul Asari, a former Ghana under-17 striker. So he's played at WA All-Stars for the last 5 years or so. Very, very loyal, boy or son of the WA club. Now, the goal scorer for Aduana Stars, of course, was Rashid Al Hassan. Now, you know, WA All Stars, this is their first win since Enos Adepa, their coach, was sacked. He was a title-winning coach. He won the Ghana Premier League with them last season. He was sacked last Saturday. I told you about that. During the Ghana-USA game, the news came out that Enos Adepa had been shown the exit door at the club. Of course, WA All Stars have only won their second game in their last 10 league matches. Second game in their last 10 league matches. So they've struggled a lot during the second half of the season. No wonder Enos Adepa was given the axe. Now let's move on to Cape Coast, where Ebusuan Dwarfs saw out a stalemate with Great Olympics. That game ended barren and goalless, however you choose to call it. In Takwa, Midiama SC scored a 1-0 victory over Tema Youth. Goal was scored by Ajenin Boateng. And you know, at the El Wak Stadium in Accra, this is the game most people have been talking about today. Inter Allies scored a 1-0 victory over Asante Kotoko. The Asante Kotoko that had gone so many games without losing, finally today they lost. They fell in Accra to a very, very resilient Inter Allies side. The goal was scored by Abdul Halik Hudu. Very, very exciting young prospect he is. Now, Inter Allies, of course, ended Kotoko's 7-game unbeaten run in the Ghana Premier League. They were also, you know, subjected to an end of a 3-game winning streak. So Asante Kotoko had won their last 3 league games and they were finally beaten. Also after 7 games unbeaten as well. Now in Accra, still in Accra, this is very interesting because of the whole dynamics that go into it. Now, Asante Kotoko and Accra House of Folk will meet in the league on Sunday. And so there was a lot of interest in their games during midweek, that's today. Now, also at the Accra Sports Stadium, Accra House of Folk won by 2-0 against Brekum Chelsea. So Accra House of Folk have gotten one over their arch rivals. They are now a point ahead of Kotoko by virtue of this win, made possible by captain Thomas Abe, who is now on 10 league goals this season. Very, very interesting. From midfield, Thomas Abe has managed 10 goals already. Of course, have bounced back after 2 consecutive league losses to Ashanti Gold and also lost to Bechim United. So, of course, Thomas Abe leading the charge there. Going into Sunday's game, House of Folk are now a point ahead of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Now, I'll just run you through the table as it is now. Who is on top, who is at the bottom of the Ghana Premier League. Wafa are still on top. They are 3 points clear, 1 game in hand, so they could possibly go 6 points clear as well. Aduana Stars are in 2nd place on 40 points. Accra House of Folk are in 3rd place on 36 points. Asante Kotoko are in 4th place on 35 points. Then we have Inter Allies, Midiama, Ebusuan Dwarfs, Bechim United, WA All Stars, Ashanti Gold have moved to 10th in the league. Now they are on 28 points. Can you imagine Ashanti Gold, who were in the relegation zone, have now climbed up to 10th in the league. Now we have Brekum Chelsea in 11th place. In 12th place, we have Elmina Sharks. In 13th place, Liberty Professionals. Good evening to you, Godfred Akotobuafo in Nairobi. Now, Tema Youth are in 14th place. Great Olympics are in 15th place. And in 16th place, we have Rock Bottom Bolga All Stars. Winless in their last 12 league games as well. So that's it for the Ghana Premier League. Let's see what you have to say about it, whether your favorite club won or lost as well. We are still streaming live on Facebook, Pulse Ghana Sports. You can join our live feed and let's have a conversation on it. Now, Ferguson Consa Steve, you are saying Fifi Anaman, great show, but accepting my friend request won't be that bad. I will accept your friend request. I have this limit thing going on, and so, you know, I tend to miss a lot of friend requests. But I'll be accepting your friend request. I promise you that, Ferguson Kwanzaa. Imam Hamzi, you are saying Fifi play. Please. Where is 11 Wise Showboy? 11 Wise are currently not in the Ghana Premier League. Of course, Hazakes as well are also not in the Ghana Premier League. So 2 of the Western region's biggest clubs are currently not in the Ghana Premier League. Now, Cosworth Brown, you're saying, as for Gyan, the least said about him, the better. Always sounding controversial. Interesting comment from Cosworth. Kwesi Felix Aprizani, you are saying, watching you live from Parma, Italy. Thank you very much, Kwesi. Ahasa Watali, you are saying, Phobia Masters. Of course, you won by 2-0 here in Accra. Thomas Abbey with those goals. Now, Nana Kweku has joined us. Thank you very much, Nana Kweku. Rawalpi Juma, welcome, Fifi. Remain blessed. Thank you very much, Rawalpi. You're doing a great job. Keep it up, bro. Watching you live from Joburg, South Africa. So those are the comments coming in. Michael Edusei, man like Michael Edusei, head of sports in terms of social media here at Pulse. You're saying Kotoko there in Katinkwan. Michael Edusei, I hear you. You're saying Kotoko in Katinkwan, granola soup. That's what Michael Edusei is saying tonight. Thank you very much, Michael, for joining the show. Now, we'll be moving on to more topics in a bit, but we'll take a quick break on the game plan. So I'll be back in just a bit. Yeah. Okay, so we are back on the game plan show. Still with me, Fifi Anaman. Like I said, the 45th edition of this particular series. Now we'll move on to Asamoah Gyan. Asamoah Gyan is the captain of the Ghana Black Stars. Still in the news. We've been discussing him for about the last, 8 shows consecutively. I mean, Asamoah Gyan always, he's saying he won't play penalties again. He's now Dr. Asamoah Gyan. He's customized his armband. He's scoring his 50th goal for the Black Stars. A lot of news for him. He's naturally a newsmaker. Now, currently, he's saying that he has reversed his vow not to play penalty kicks for the Black Stars again. This is an interesting development. Now, I'll give you the history, of Asamoah Gyan's, drama with penalties. Now, in 2010, at the World Cup in South Africa, at the Soccer City Stadium in Joburg. That was in June 2010, at the height of the World Cup. Quarterfinal, Ghana-Uruguay. Last minute of extra time, Asamoah Gyan standing behind the spot kick, score and send Ghana into the semi-final of the World Cup, which would have made Ghana the first African side in the history of the FIFA World Cup to make it into a semi-final. Asamoah Gyan stood behind the ball, took a deep breath, made for the ball, and what happened? Have a look at that penalty once again. I don't mean to remind you of our oaths, but have a look at it again. So that was the first Asamoah Gyan, the first proper Asamoah Gyan versus penalty mode, So I'll take you to the second episode. 2012, right, at the AFCON in Gabon and Equatorial Guinea. This particular match was played in Bata in Equatorial Guinea. It was a semi-final. Ghana against Zambia. South African nation Zambia in Southern Africa. Now in the 8th minute of that game, guess who is standing behind the spot kick? Asamoah Gyan, right? So he has to score this penalty kick because it's a tense game. It looks like one of those games which is going to have just a goal separating both sides. So Asamoah Gyan, a lot of expectations on his shoulders. Standing behind the ball, he makes for the ball, and watch happens next. Watch what happens next. Asamoah Gyan against Zambia 2012 AFCON. Have a look at this.
Yeah, match and started in Chelsea. Yeah, caught 7th minute. Ghana did Zambia. Edia Grokakra. Nice pass. Ema muntwensi me pe goals. I am di rough sir. We channel. Cha referee the red card chale say pe say ball against 10 na again man red. Bema wire the deal. Oh, call ya she no mutual. Replay no. Challenge ko obession straight na kwani channel. We dey say you red bi ne mbo against 10 man. Hey challenge one be tu adi Asamoah Gyan. Chabema misro we dey misro mitimi kran hwe. World Cup do ye member e bio e sraw pa. Yeah! Wa pass ya ma keeper no. Kwei. Wo kunye. Gyan pa.
Okay, so you saw what happened, right? That was Asamoah Gyan against Zambia, semi-final of AFCON 2012 in Bata, Equatorial Guinea. Now, after this game, right, Ghana, of course, lost. Emmanuel Mayuka of Zambia scored on the 78th minute, the only goal that separated both sides. That meant Zambia were going to play in the final of AFCON 2012 at the expense of Ghana. Zambia, of course, went on to win that particular AFCON. So that's that. After that game, of course, Ghana were eliminated. We went on to lose to Mali. So we couldn't even win bronze medals during that tournament. Now, you know, reports in Ghana suggested that fans, irate fans, right, angry fans, you know, marched to the house of the parents of Asamoah Gyan, actually expressing their displeasure at that particular miss. So Asamoah Gyan underwent a lot of psychological distress. Remember, I told you about the Uruguay penalty, and now I've brought you to the Zambia penalty. So 2 important penalties in the space of 2 years. So after that episode, after the fans complained, after, you know, they abused him, Asamoah Gyan came out on the 18th of 2012 to say that he was taking a break, an indefinite break from international football. He was tired of the abuse, you know, after missing what he himself described as 2 of the biggest penalties in Ghana's history. And so, you know, Asamoah Gyan was saying he was sorry for the miss. Ghanaians were having none of that. He broke down and said, you know what, I can't play for the Black Stars again. He said, and I quote, "My decision had the full backing of my family and friends." So, you know, we said goodbye to Asamoah Gyan, you know, go and rest, and hopefully, you know, you return back stronger. And in November that year, Asamoah Gyan returned to the Black Stars. Yes, he returned to replace regular captain John Mensah, who was then having a lot of injury trouble. So Kwesi Appiah had come in and he named Asamoah Gyan the captain of the side. This was after, you know, everything, after he went on his break. Now, on Asempa FM in November 2012, sadly after the sudden death of his mother, Asamoah Gyan came out to say, and I quote, "No, I will no longer take penalties for Ghana. My mother advised me not to take penalties again. And now that she is gone, I will take that advice." This was in November 2012, you know, months after the second crucial penalty miss and after his, you know, international break or international retirement, which he eventually came out of. So Asamoah Gyan vowed after the death of his mother, the sad, sad death of his mother, not to take penalties again, because he had promised his mom, who fans marched, you know, to after that Zambia penalty miss, to say, you know what, I can't play penalties again because I love my mom. So that was Asamoah Gyan in 2012. Many years later, in 2015, you know, after so many penalties for Ghana that Asamoah Gyan didn't take, Andrea Ayew took most of those penalties. After the 2015 AFCON, remember we were in the final with Ivory Coast. Now, the match was headed to penalty shootouts, and Avram Grant, who was then the coach of the Black Star, decided to pull out Asamoah Gyan in the last minute of that game because Ghana was heading to shootouts, and Asamoah Gyan had apparently, or had truthfully, promised never to take penalties for Ghana again. So after that episode, Asamoah Gyan came out to say, this was after the 2015 AFCON in Equatorial Guinea, he said, "There's no problem with me taking penalty kicks. However, it must be acknowledged also that the decision was not taken in a vacuum. With what I've experienced in the past, I don't need to rush back." He was speaking to Graphic Sport on this occasion. "Now, as a striker and captain of the team, I will do all I can to help the team succeed. So whatever decision I take with regards to this particular issue will be in the best interest of the national team and not a personal one." So this was Asamoah Gyan after the 2015 AFCON, when people were begging him to come out of his penalty retirement. Remember, Ghana lost those spot kicks to the Ivory Coast, and we actually ended up losing that final and the trophy. you know, so extending our long trophy drought. People were begging Asamoah Gyan, you said you won't play again. Please come. Asamoah Gyan said, you know what? He's keeping calm. He's still sticking to his promise. Now, fast forward to this year, right? This year, 2017, just last month, right? Just last month, on Joy FM, Asamoah Gyan was asked whether he was still sticking to his vow of not playing penalty kicks for Ghana again. And we have that interview for you, courtesy Joy FM, right on your screens.
Okay, about taking penalties. When are you coming back to take them for Ghana?
No.
Never?
No.
Never?
No.
Seriously?
I'm not.
Nothing would make you change your mind?
I don't think so. Unless, as I said, we get to penalty shootout like the last 2 years. I think I was Asians that went round. And then, but I went out before the penalty shootout.
Okay, about taking penalties.
So you heard him, Captain Asamoah Gyan. And I've given you the whole history, right? Right from the Soccer City, Johannesburg penalty miss against Uruguay, right to the Estadio de Bata penalty miss against Zambia in the 2012 AFCON, to his international retirement, to coming back and to announcing that he was never going to play penalty kicks again for Ghana soon after his mom died, unfortunately. And then to, you know, him saying after the 2015 AFCON that he was still resolute, he was not going to take again. And to this, inside the studios of Joy FM, confirming explicitly that he was not going to play penalty kicks again. Now, ironically, a few days after that particular interview, Ghana played the United States in a friendly at the Pratt and Whitney Stadium at East Hartford, Connecticut. The stadium is actually called Rentschler Field. Yes, Rentschler Field it was. Ghana against the US of A, right? So Ghana get a penalty. And guess who is standing behind the ball? Asamoah Gyan. Have a look at this. Wow. So that was Asamoah Gyan a few days after saying, you know what, I still stand by my vow of not taking penalty kicks for the Black Stars. What happened? Nobody really knows. But Asamoah Gyan again, and this is the latest development in this whole saga, he has come out to say that, and read this, I'll put the quote in your screens in a bit right about now. Asamoah Gyan said, yes, I had initially stated I was not going to take penalty kicks for Ghana, but I have reflected on it and I have decided to start taking it again. So Asamoah Gyan has officially, you know, undone his vow that he made in 2012, never to play penalties again. Isn't this an interesting story? Well, you tell me. Send in your comments on this as well. I hope you enjoyed the whole chronicling, you know, right from 2010 to 2012 to 2013 to 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. Asamoah Gyan saying, Mebo, and then Mebo and missing in the end. But now he's saying Mebo, he's saying he's going to play penalties for the Black Stars of Ghana. What do you make of this? Do you think he's a good penalty taker? Do you think it's healthy for him to have said something and reneged on it? There are a lot of people saying that, you know, he should stick to his word, you know, because he cannot be trusted in such crucial moments like, you know, against Uruguay and against Zambia. What do you think? Please send in your comments on this whole Asamoah Gyan issue. So that's it, a chronicling of Asamoah Gyan's history with penalties. Now let's just read a few comments on Facebook and see who is watching and who is commenting. Now Rawalpi, you are saying, welcome Fifi, remain blessed. Thank you, Rawalpi. Mudali, you are saying, Phobia. Kwesi Felix Aprizani, you are saying, Fifi, you are so great. Thank you very much for your kind comment. Kuma Kwame Emmanuel, you are saying, Asamoah Gyan is just selfish and nothing more. He can carry the Black Stars to his graves. Hey, it's very heavy, you know, and grave comment from you there. Asante Williams Paul, you're saying still fabulous. I guess you're talking about Kotoko, Asante Kotoko, who lost today in the Ghana Premier League at Inter Allies here in Accra. Now, Victor Champon, you're saying I expect GH clubs to do well at on the international scene. Interesting there. Isaac Dodu, you are saying Phobia, no size. Kotoko should watch out on Sunday. Maxwell John, you are saying watching you live from Hamburg. Thank you very much. Owalpi Juma, you are saying watching you from Kiel. Thank you very much, Owalpi. Suglo Francis Javier, you are saying you are watching from Karaga in the northern region. Hi, Suglo. Thank you for joining us. Richard Ofosuhene, you are saying Kotoko lose all because of the Kumasi media. They can use 1 hour to praise the team only for only one win. I live in Germany. Thanks for the good job, bro. Thank you very much, Rich Ofosu. Asante Williams, Paul, you are saying, Asamoah Gyan, we have to forget about him because he's always going to play with Ghanaians' heart. Interesting. Sharif Valentino Sierra, you are doing a good job. And for Kotoko, I will not talk. Sure, a very disappointed Kotoko fan as well. Rawal Pijuma, you are saying, yeah, he's the best penalty taker. You are talking about Asamoah Gyan. Imam Hamza, you are saying, with Jan, Ghana can never win a cup. He should stay aside and give the young ones a chance. Interesting comment. Ebenezer Ni Ama, insightful history. Good job on Asamoah Gyan. Thank you for your kind comment. This kind of things bring confusion in the team. Nabila Hassan, which is what you are saying. I guess you are talking about Asamoah Gyan's decision to say he will play and want to play whatever he's saying at the current moment. Michael Edu saying, no, your late mother, may her soul rest in peace, said that don't play penalties. So why are you being disobedient? But Michael Edu saying, this is between somebody and his mom. man like. Thank you very much for your comment. Islam Mohammed, you are saying Asamoah Gyan should retire from the national team. Hey, you guys really don't like Asamoah Gyan. I mean, he's a captain, record goal scorer for the Black Stars, record caps holder, record goal scorer for Africa at the World Cup. And, you know, he scored over 100 goals during his time in the UAE. Of course, most of you have been spreading propaganda that he used to play with carpenters and masons in the UAE. Come on, they play professional football there. He earned money, he scored his goals, and it reflected in his form for the Black Stars. I brought you all the stats a few episodes ago on the Game Plan Show. I'm sure you all know what happened there. Reginald Ifa, I see you've joined. Thank you very much for joining us. Wiki Ayo, you're saying, watching you live from Belgium, more vim to Asante Kotoko Sporting Club. Hey, fabulous. Okay, so Thomas, okay, phobia all the way. Good job. Okay, Prince Intia Makobi, you're saying, I think we should give Dede a chance to take our penalties, but Jan is still our all-time best player. Okay, so that's it for the comments for now. Let's move on to our next topic. We have John Mensah. Yep, John Mensah is saying, see, John Mensah, right, former defender for the Black Stars. He's currently 34. Don't smile, don't laugh. He's 34. That is his age. John Mensah, former defender of the Black Stars. He's saying he's not done.
I'm still a citizen for Ghana, and I played for my national team before. Just because I've dropped out from the national team, but I got injured, and then I didn't play competitive football for a couple of while. And we all know that national team, you need to play competitive football, and you have to play regular, or you have to play. They have to see your performance that you are doing well, and they will call you. So since that particular 2013 going, I didn't play any competitive football. So if we wouldn't have seen me in the national team, that doesn't mean that I'm out of the
championship with the Ghana side that featured the likes of Michael Essien and Suleiman Tari and Derek Boateng and what have you. So accomplished player, played 83 times for the Black Stars, 83 caps, no mean feat, and scored 3 goals. So John Mensah, seen it all, done it all, but apparently not done it all. He's saying that he wants to return to the national team. What do you make of this? Interesting there. The Obuasi-born defender is fancying his chances of returning to the Ghana team. Of course, his last game was in 2013 against Lesotho. It was a World Cup qualifier. Most of you remember it. We played that game in Maseru. Ghana flew to Maseru for that game. We won by 2-0. That was his last appearance after a 12-year career with the Black Stars that saw him play in the FIFA World Cup, in many Africa Cup of Nations tournaments as well. He was part of that Ghana side that won bronze medals in 2008, and also part of that Ghana side that were fourth at that AFCON. That saw Asamoah Gyan missing a penalty. I'm sorry I keep bringing up Asamoah Gyan's penalty misses, but everything seems to be intertwined and connected. Now, we'll play you the audio, courtesy Joy News, of John Mensah talking about how he wants to return to the Black Stars and how he's not done with football at the age of 34. Have a listen to this.
مانويل بادو هو من يتولى التنفيذ. الهدف الأول لمنتخب البلاك ستارز عن طريق قلب الدفاع والقائد جون مensah من كرة ثابتة. منتخب غانا يفتتح التسجيل في هذه المباراة في توقيت 25 دقيقة افتتحت جون مانسا الهدف الأول وهدف الأسبقية لمنتخب غانا. وهذا المدرب ستارلي جوساني أكيد يدرك جيدا قيمة وقوة المنتخب.
John Mensah talking about how he wants to return to the Black Stars. Interesting there from him. He's saying that he's not done. The last club that he played at was at AFC. That club is in Sweden. He had a lot of injury issues. That was in 2016, and now he's saying that, you know what, Kwesi Appiah, I'm still fit, you know, and you know, when I'm in my elements, I don't want to be ignored for a Black Stars call-up. So that's it from the camp of John Mensah, who played for the Black Stars for 12 years and won 83 caps as well as scored 23 goals. So yeah, John Mensah wanting a return to the Black Stars. I wonder what you think about this. Please send in your comments. We are still streaming live on Facebook on Pulse Ghana Sport. Do well to join us and send in your comments as well. Very, very important. Also join us on Twitter on @PulseSportsGH and on Instagram as well on @PulseSportsGH. So we've been doing a lot of stories today. We've looked at Asamoah Gyan. We've also looked at the Black Stars and the GPL. Now let's move on to what is happening in the camp of Latif Blessing. Latif Blessing. Interesting. Latif Blessing. He plays in the MLS over in the United States of America. Now last night there was a game, right, involving Sporting Kansas City, right, which is the club that Latif Blessing plays at, against FC